Hello, and welcome, lovely humans, to Hell and Hightails, the gayest and edgiest anime podcast, busting in on your interwebs and slowly, anally fisting our way into your moist hearts. I am joined here today by my delightful chubby buddy Will. Will, how you doing?
Hello! I am doing fantastic today.
I am very surprised you did not crack up during my line about fucking fisting.
What line about fisting?
I did not hear that at all.
What line about fisting? I didn't hear anything.
Anyway, moving on. Because you're a normie, you want to talk about goddamn Naruto, so what are your thoughts on fucking pre-Shippuden Naruto?
Naruto is the best anime that the world has ever seen.
You fucking lie.
Better than literally everything. No, I'm kidding. But, but no, like, the funny part about it is because I only started watching it in about, I want to say like March of this year, which is because I'd always I remember vaguely seeing like bits and pieces of episodes way back in the day when I was a wee lad on Cartoon Network. But up until this point, I've never actually sat down to watch it. And I was browsing Netflix one day and saw it, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Because I'd always heard like so many mixed opinions about it. And so I decided to start watching it. I'm like, this is actually pretty decent. I don't hate this. And I started watching it and I was like, I like it. I like it. It's good. And so I watched the first 5 seasons because they were on Netflix, and then I had to stop because that was all that was on Netflix. But now there's up to season 9, so I started watching it again recently. And I am enjoying it.
That's good. The thing about Naruto that makes it different, like, usually when there is a large amount of anime fans, in the anime community that are just shitting on a show, it's usually because 90% of the show's bad. Like Sword Art Online, you start wafting through the bullshit, and then it gets really bad, and then you realize the signs of it being bad were there all along, and you just didn't notice it. Or Fairy Tail, where most of Fairy Tail just kinda sucks. Naruto is just weird in the sense that the biggest crime in Naruto, at least, like, to me, and this is why I think a lot of people like to shit on it now, is that Naruto has moments that are fucking brilliant. And the fact that it has moments so often that are just delightful and amazing, but fails to consistently be good in such a long show is what really drags it down and becomes offensive. Because if you have, like, the Gaara and Rock Lee fight, I like to shit on Naruto all the time, but the Gaara and Rock Lee fight is still in my top 10 greatest fights in anime history. That fight is fucking iconic and delightful. But the problem is when you have shit like that in a show that also has moments that stand out as being really lazy or really just trying to stall for time or just trying to straight up waste time or waste effort, it's when it's like glaring. It's not like Sword Art Online, where Sword Art Online was just a shitty show based off shitty source material. Naruto's something that's, it's really good when Toei Animation gives a shit, and it's really bad when they don't give a shit.
One thing for me that kind of gets, not necessarily on my nerves, but I kind of view as a little bit annoying at times, I guess, is they have the episodes in between to kind of like split up the seriousness as comedic relief, and I feel like sometimes they're timed a little bit poorly.
I agree.
Obviously, throughout this whole time, we have this overarching story, at least for how far I am into it, of we're trying to get Sasuke back. We fucking find him and track him down, and we have all these things going in between. So one of the recent story arcs I finished was when I believe it was Naruto, Shino, and I can't remember the third person. they went to the island nation to try and find Orochimaru, and they found this facility where this guy was trying to turn people into like give them like aquatic abilities and whatnot. Basically, like they kind of turn into fish people. And at the end of it, there's this one girl who has been experimented on for these, and she views herself as a monster. And Naruto teaches her to accept herself for who she is. That just because she's different doesn't mean people are going to think she's a monster. And then, like 2 episodes later, Naruto's fucking babysitting some bratty, spoiled rich kid.
A thing I should probably clarify, because I realize I went into this as if these are things I have said, because these are some things I say all the fucking time, but I don't think I've ever actually said in a video or a podcast or anything. My issues with Naruto aren't like things I dislike inherently. I mean, okay, some of them are about source material, but I have 2 main issues with Naruto. One is Toei Animation. Just shit that Toei Animation does in most shows they adapt that personally bug me. And then another issue, which I'll get into once I'm done bullshitting about the first bullshit. Toei Animation. Like, for example, One Piece. I absolutely adore One Piece. However, the worst thing about One Piece is the fact that it has to be adapted by Toei Animation. Because Toei Animation likes to get really long-ass fucking shows that they can easily pump out for weeks and weeks and weeks indefinitely because they're fucking 1,000 episodes fucking shonen shit. But they like to adapt shows that they could do really quick and just constantly pump out. And the priorities there is just consistently getting out episodes all the time, and it's not necessarily about quality. They're not about taking breaks so they can make sure that they get really nice episodes. They're about, let's just get this shit out. And let's just adapt shows that we know we can just bank on doing lazy episodes for a billion years. Sometimes they do animation that is really cool and interesting, but most of the time they do animation or pacing that really sucks. Because they just care more about getting 50 episodes out of an arc than they do making it enjoyable for the viewers. Which, on the plus side, a show like One Piece, it probably never would have gotten adapted by another studio because there's just too much of it. So on one hand, Toei Animation allows us to get a lot of shows that are based on manga that is just too fucking long to get a faithful adaptation from anywhere else, but on the other hand, they double the length with so much filler and bullshit that it's nearly unwatchable for a lot of people. And just the way they do things in their animation personally bugs me, even in shows I adore like One Piece. And then my second reason of a thing that bugs me in Naruto is just the second reason is when I got into Naruto, and this is the same issue I have with Attack on Titan, is I got into it and fell in love with Naruto, and I fell in love with Attack on Titan for things that stopped being there later in the show. A lot of the themes and a lot of the things that I fell in love with and wanted to see more of stopped kind of being there. I fell in love with the show, and then the show became a different show. Like, Attack on Titan. When I first watched it, it's like, here's this, pretty cool, gritty survival horror show. But then, it kinda changed into where it was about a boy who got superpowers and can turn into a fucking giant and punch the fuck out of other giants. Which, that's cool, and a lot of people enjoyed it and enjoyed the animation, which is fine, but that's not the show I was interested in. I was interested in a depressing show about people slowly getting murdered by titans they couldn't stop. So once it stopped being that show, I stopped liking it. Naruto, a thing I kind of loved is I loved the world, and I loved the kind of limitations of it, it's like... it's like, there was this, earlier in the show, there was fights that were won by just a creative fucking kick maneuver in the air, or plugging a dude's fucking handguns with bugs and shit. There was... It was still crazy-ass shonen, but it was more simplistic and less ridiculous than Dragon Ball Z. But slowly it became more and more about Naruto using his magical, fox powers to do crazy Dragon Ball Z level bullshit, which is fine. I know a lot of people that really enjoy how crazy and over the top the fights get, but personally for me,
I love
that
it when the
actually
fox
made it
comes
less
out to play.
interesting and changed it. What was that? Go ahead.
Oh, I said I love it when the fox comes out to play. It's always fun to watch that.
Yeah, I enjoyed when he started doing the fox shit at first. It's just that, like, it was really cool the first times I saw it. It's just that there was a point, like, early on in Shippuden when I just kind of sat there and I realized that, like, things started bugging me more and more, and I kind of just sat there and realized that this show isn't the show I fell in love with. It's not
That's
like...
fair.
It's not, like, terrible. It's not like it's Fairy Tail, where it's just like, this is garbage. It's not Sword Art Online, where it's like, okay, how the fuck did this become popular? It's, this isn't what I fell in love with anymore.
I suppose as well, I'm still at a point where when he taps into the nine-tailed fox's chakra, it's still very few and far between moments. Like, for example, he didn't do it one time in season 6, and there was like one instance in the episode that I was talking about earlier with the fish thing where he got really angry and used it. But other than that, I think but up until that point, the most recent time he had used it was the first big fight with Sasuke.
I feel like even when you get to the later things, I think you'll still probably enjoy it, because like a lot of the stuff that I'm nitpicky about, I feel like you might not be the same on, so to be honest, I hope that you disagree with me and keep enjoying it, because it's always better to enjoy the show, and I know there's a lot of cool moments I never got into because I bailed so early on in Shippuden, so I'm sure there's lots of other cool shit that no one's told me about, so I hope you don't get as nitpicky as me, and I know usually when we talk about shows, a lot of the random things that I get all huffy and whiny and butthurt over are shit that you didn't even notice or care about. So you'll probably still be into it, I think.
Probably. I'm a very simple-minded person.
Nah.
But I remember one thing that I still like laugh about in the show. And thankfully, at this point, they don't really talk about it much anymore, but like in the early seasons, something that I found fucking hysterical was the Hidden Leaf Village would talk about their elite special forces unit, the Anbu Black Ops. And we just hear them, they're constantly like building them up, talking about their elite special ninja that go through all this crazy training to become deadly crazy killing machines. And then every time we see them, they're just fucking pushovers. The most we see them do is in the episode with where Orochimaru is fighting the Hokage. And that's literally the most action I've seen them do in terms of a fight was when the dude tried to break through the wall and ended up dying because of it. That's it.
Oh, it's kind of... might as well state this. The last episode of Naruto I watched was during Shippuden. It was after the sorcery fight, when they run into fucking Marilyn Manson-ass Orochimaru, and he fucking shoot... there was a point during this fight, and like there was already a whole bunch of other crazy bullshit. And I will say, before I go on, sorcery is fucking awesome. The whole sorcery fight is fucking awesome. I still think that fight's awesome, even though I fucking bailed on the show not long later. But, there's a whole bunch of other shit that was bugging me during it, but the fight itself is awesome. But then after, with this Orochimaru fucking Manson shit, there's this one point in the fucking fight, and this whole fight, there's like 100 cutaways where it's just smoke sitting there, just on the smoke. People are talking, but we're not going to animate their fucking lips moving. We're going to sit the camera on the motherfucking smoke and sit there focusing on a whole bunch of shit that only takes 2 seconds to animate to waste your fucking time and to save us time. And then There's this part of the fight where fucking Manson shoots his head into the fucking sky, and his neck just stretches. And you know, he's a fucking snake. He usually does fucking weird ass, fucking Randy Orton ass motherfucking snake shit. You know, that's a normal thing he does. But this isn't just snake shit. He just shoots his head into the fucking sky with his neck stretching like a fucking 100,000 feet into the motherfucking air, and then he just vomits out a giant fucking katana blade at Naruto into the mountain.
Look, he just wanted to cosplay as a Lowland Executor, okay?
That fucking... just a fucking magic vomits a katana out. And that was the moment where I'm sitting there and I'm like, this show, it used to be kind of like, we do 100 weird nonsense hand signs, and we can do something as complex as shooting fire or making a big ball of water to have a dude sit in. And then later we do shit where someone can go into a mirror. You know, it's like... And now we're at the point where dudes, you know, go fucking Super Fox Saiyan and are fucking shooting giant katana blades. And, you know, it's still cool. I still see the enjoyment out of it. But when I watch, like, here's a good example. I prefer my shonen to be shows like Yu Yu Hakusho. Where Yu Yu Hakusho, it's... even when it gets crazy, the fights still feel more like it's about outsmarting your opponent to use something in the environment to your advantage to win, for the most part. And, you know, they have the King's Road fights once in a while, but because they're once in a while, they feel more important. For context, the King's Road thing, that's like where you have two big dudes, and you do one giant super ending move to the other dude, and the other dude takes it to show how strong he is, and then he's barely standing, but he stands up, and then he does one big super move to you, and you're gonna go down, but you don't, and you just keep trading that back and forth, you both fall down, you get up, and you keep doing that until one dude doesn't get up. That's what a King's Road fight is, and Yu Yu Hakusho does that once in a while, but a lot of it was just, I outsmarted you. I did some crazy bullshit with the environment, that's why I won. And that's kind of what I prefer, and I feel like Naruto was more of that in the beginning, and then because the power levels naturally got so absurd, I feel... I feel it kind of became where it's more like King's Roadie, which, you know, is cool, but it's just not what I got into it for. One Piece, which I love, only saying this for the sake of impartiality, One Piece also has the same issue, where a lot of fights devolve into, I do my big move, you do your big move, I fall, I will myself up, and it's that over and over again.
Another thing that kind of gets on my nerves in Naruto as well is how everyone is so dismissive of him. Like, he has made so many sacrifices. He stomped fucking Neji's ass in the Chunin exams. He's gone head to head with so many elite ninja. He single-handedly defeated one of the legendary 7 swordsmen. Not Zabuza, I can't remember the guy with the lightning blades. I can't remember his name. But he's done all this crazy shit as a genin. He learned how to fucking do the Rasengan. And everyone just treats him like he's just some stupid kid. And like on top of that, he has said some really meaningful fucking deep shit before. And so everyone's like, oh yeah, he's just a fucking idiot. He's a dumb kid. Fuck him. Shut the fuck up, Naruto, you dumbass.
Poor Naruto. I will say, the Chunin exam, fucking a beautiful kind of tournament arc. The Chunin exam,
oh my god, it
is fucking delightful. I love I was talking to my fiance Heather once about Naruto, and you know, she was like, yeah, let's not watch it, and I'm like, no, I'm not saying we shouldn't watch it. I'm just saying, if we do watch it, we're only watching the tuning exam. Because the tuning exam, no matter what, no matter how much bullshit nitpicks I have about Naruto, the tuning exam is fucking awesome. And I
It
love
is such a great story arc.
It really is. There's
Like,
so
if you're
many...
gonna show somebody a story arc of Naruto for the first time, and you're only gonna show them one story arc, make it that.
I think that's part of why a lot of the fights became less interesting for me, is just because the tuning exam was so ingenious and creative every fight.
Oh yeah.
And so, like, later, it's like, okay, this fight's good, but I really just want the tuning exam a second time.
Yeah.
Everything I love about Naruto... Also, another thing is, my favorite character was always Rock Lee, because I feel like Rock Lee is just the best character in Naruto, and then Rock Lee just became less and less relevant.
I still think that motherfucker looks like Speed Racer.
He looks like Speed Racer, but he's still fucking awesome.
I mean, I suppose take off his ankle fucking weights and he is Speed Racer. Let's be
Yeah,
real
true.
here.
He is. I wish Naruto was just a fucking show about Rock Lee. I feel like, because Naruto, even though there's the whole shit about, him being a depressed loner because everyone fucking hates him and is an asshole to him, he's still this privileged fucking kid that has a fox demon inside of him that gives him superpowers to tap into whenever he's about to die, and inherently gives him a special advantage over every ninja in the show that doesn't have a fucking free demon pass inside of him. So he's this inherently privileged character. Rock Lee, that motherfucker, he doesn't have any magic bullshit, and he still fucking takes it to Gaara, because he bust his ass, and he worked hard, and he cried, and he worked hard. He's like, hey, I don't have any magic powers. I don't have any cool demons inside of me. I just
fight really good.
I just kick really hard, and I try my best, and that's the fucker I wanted to see in the whole show. And not privileged, white-ass fucking Naruto.
And then on top of that, he gets crippled to a point where he'll probably never fucking fight again. And then still, like, obviously, fucking Lady Tsunade does the fucking surgery or whatever. But even still, like, he comes back from that and is still just as badass as ever.
Yeah, if the King's Road stuff I was talking about, like the King's Road style of doing a fight, if it was always, like, Rock Lee and Gaara, where... yeah, it's trading big moves, but it's a David versus Goliath thing, because one guy has fucking magic superpowers and the other guy can just kick really hard. I would probably totally be cool with 100 Kings Road fights, because I'm inherently more invested, because Rock Lee is struggling because he could only kick and he's fighting superhumans. Naruto, I am less interested conceptually, because even though he had a shitty childhood, in terms of just combat, he is the most privileged character in the show. Well...
Sorry, chewing rice.
God damn it, you fucker! We are in a podcast here, like, I'm just gonna fucking take up over here, fucking eat a big ass fucking handful of fucking rice. I don't give a shit about no fucking podcast, I just wanna eat my fucking rice.
Sorry, I was hungry. I was getting into the moment. I was eating some Chinese food to get ready to talk about Japanese things.
God damn it.
Well, now I just sound racist.
Yeah, just a bit. Is it at least like authentic Chinese food and not like Americanized shit?
A good question.
God damn it, you don't even know.
I don't know, it tastes good.
One time, me and my cousin, we went to get Chinese food, and they thought we were a gay couple, so they gave us a discount and put a bunch of hearts and 2 chopsticks in it, so that was pretty sweet.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
That's funny as fuck, but... just go back and be like, we are not a gay couple! This is my Wait, were you in Alabama?
No, this was Michigan.
Okay, then yeah, there's no excuse.
To be fair, okay, there's a lot of people, like, a lot of people that when me and Tap are walking in public think we're a couple. That's like a common occurrence. When me and my fiance had our first Skype call, and Tap walked by in the background, they turned to me and they're like, hey, are you two fucking? Like, this is all the time. We just give off, man, like, fucking...
It's almost like a guy and a girl can't walk together without someone assuming they're in a relationship.
Fucking Naruto. Actually, Rock Lee, and this is kind of sad, he did get his own spin-off, except it was just, like, a generic comedy show. And it makes me really sad.
That's depressing.
Yeah, every character was drawn in, like, chibi designs, and it was just, like, a big joke of a show, which is fine, but, like... I mean, okay, Naruto can be funny, but Naruto isn't a show you go to just for the comedy. You know? When you think of the funniest anime, you don't think about Naruto. So this is a comedy show that is 100% just comedy, but it's just the humor in Naruto. So it's like, if you took Naruto, made it about Rock Lee, everyone's drawn as a chibi, except it was only the comedy filler episodes, that's what Rock Lee's spin-off show was.
That's just disappointing.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, I enjoyed a few episodes of it before I got bored of it, but it just sucks because fucking Rock Lee, he could have just carried his own show, and I probably would have liked it better than Naruto, but they were like, yeah, we're just gonna give it a fucking comedic fucking spin-off. Fucking fuck Rock Lee, he's a fucking cuck. We're not gonna give him a fucking serious fucking show. Fuck you.
He deserves so much more, too.
There is one joke in that fucking Rock Lee show that I do think about once in a while. It's one of the only things I remember about it at this point, because it actually was really good. 1010 was pissed at Rock Lee and Neji for not being chivalrous enough, and they're like, no, I'm a fucking lady. You should be nice to me. You should be polite and shit. You should be fucking holding the doors and stuff. And, like, they're trying, but Neji and Rock Lee are like, being mega dumb, and they're like, why? They're trying to explain why they should treat her with, like, special respect, but they're just like, I mean, I just treat you like Neji. So, like, because, we're just teammates. And she gets pissed that they don't understand, in a societal context, why you would treat a woman with extra respect. So she gets pissed and just nails Rock Lee in the balls as hard as possible. And then Rock Lee's like, oh, I get it. That's why I should treat you special, because you can't get hurt by that move like we can. We should treat you special because you can't get hurt
because you don't have
balls
testicles.
Because you don't have them. So you're a better fighter than us. And she's like, no, that's not what I mean.
On the topic of 1010, fuck 1010. She is a worthless character.
I mean, I think her power, her fucking scroll shit of having just a trillion weapons pop up was cool.
I think it's lame. I'm sorry, but it's like, everyone else has these really special, cool, fucking unique things. Like, fucking, Shiba has all the cool shit he can do with Akamaru. Fucking, Shikamaru has his shadow possession jutsu. Neji has his fucking 64 palms, 8 trigram bullshit. Like, everyone has this special, cool, unique thing. Like, even, like, Lee, like, he doesn't have any special jutsu, but he's such an amazing fucking crazy ball-to-the-wall fighter. And then 1010 is just, oh yeah, I can summon weapons.
Yeah, I guess 1010's power is literally the equivalent of just walking everywhere with just a fucking shopping cart with a bunch of
it's like, you could just carry a backpack around with all that shit in it, and it would be to the same effect, really.
Yeah. It's like when you're comparing, like, pro wrestlers, and you have, like, those guys with these crazy, wacky characters that are, like, absurd and over the top, and then you have, like, fucking Tommy Dreamer, and he's just a guy in fucking sweatpants and a t-shirt that comes out with just fucking chairs and stuff, and he just looks like a fucking dad.
Because, like, also, like, the way that it's portrayed anyway, I mean, I haven't seen anything where they actually explain how it works yet, but from what it seems like is she uses the scrolls to summon them. So at the end of the day, it's basically just a standard summoning jutsu. Meaning literally anyone else could do the exact same thing if they just had the scrolls.
It's not something any particularly special. She just takes the time to have them all set up.
That and in the few episodes we ever see her in, she doesn't seem to really do anything.
I don't remember Tenten doing much, to be honest. Moving on to our ending segment. Me and this delightful dude over here. We have a very, very long history of failure on the interwebs. Before I was doing Hell and Hightails, I was doing this other channel. It's currently just under Flashy JW Evans. It used to be called D-Bull Entertainment. It used to be called Sanest Man Alive. It used to be called a billion things. And they used to have a channel called Wilsterdude123. And ever since about 2011, actually, the two of us have just been pumping out lots of shitty internet things that nobody has watched. And I thought it would be fun to talk about the history of it. In particular, a show called #BadJokes, which is still the longest running series I've ever done on the internet, which was a vlog series where the concept was me, Will, and our other friends could be doing anything at any time as long as we talked about it. The problem was, we actually never did anything interesting, and we just sat around and played video games. But I refused to do a Let's Play series, because I had a Let's Play series on my channel, and I wanted to say, no, this isn't a Let's Play series, this is a vlog series. So instead of doing a capture card, I had a camera pointing at our backs while we were playing. And I'm like, nah, it's a vlog. It's a vlog.
Also because we were in fucking high school. We couldn't really afford... Neither of us had a job. We couldn't afford to get a capture card.
I mean, I did have screen capture software, though, that later we did use for Let's Plays. But instead of changing it to where #BadJokes actually use screen captures, I just had, here's the Let's Play, and now here's #BadJokes, where we're still filming on a shitty tablet.
It wasn't just video games. There was that one episode where you guys went to the mall.
There is 4 episodes, I think, that are not video games. There is 3 episodes of us playing checkers and then 1 mall episode.
Our high octane crazy checkers match.
Out of 80 fucking episodes in the show's, 2-year run.
Jesus, we did that many?
Yes, there is, 70 to 80 episodes of #BadJokes.
I suppose there was a lot that you and Tap did.
There's a lot that we both did. You gotta remember, every episode was 10 minutes, so we recorded for an hour. That's 6 episodes.
Oh yeah, that's fair enough.
That's how I got so
God
many.
damn.
Let's talk about the beginning. My very first YouTube channel. Your very first was Wilsterdude123, and I believe you pretty much only did Lego reviews.
Yeah, pretty much. To this day, right now, if you were to go to that channel, there's nothing on it anymore. I deleted all my stuff.
And we did one stop-motion video series together.
Yeah, with Legos.
Yes.
Stop motion, air quotes.
Yeah, it was very bad stop motion, and every single time, it, because what you did is you just kept pausing the camera over and over again, but each time you paused it, the camera registered the clicking sound the button made, so it was just
Yeah, it was fucking awful, because I couldn't do actual stop motion. I didn't know how. Because that would, require, an editing software or some shit, so I'm just like, I figured out, here's cheap-ass budget stop motion, just pausing the camera for each individual frame.
My first channel was originally called Roblox Mazidiot because I planned to do a bunch of Roblox videos because I used to be hella into Roblox. But I never did a lot of them. I did a bunch, but never a lot of them. The real big debut show for me was called The Sharp, which stood for Stupidity Has a Relevant Purpose, which was a sketch show where the concept is that a lot of people always called me an idiot growing up, and I mean, not anymore, but people used to call me an idiot constantly.
Idiot!
Because my brain is just kinda, like, I can understand complex subjects, but my brain isn't really wired quite the way a lot of people's is. So I don't usually understand things if they're worded in the ways that most easily explain them to a lot of people. And a lot of the time I word things in ways that don't accurately explain them to a lot of people as efficiently as I think it will. So because people always call me an idiot, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna play a more annoying version of myself, and the whole joke is just that I'm an idiot and incapable of being successful, and I just did a sketch show based on that. And I came out with edited WWE title, and I called myself the Monopoly Champion. I had, like, puppets on the show. I had a bunch of different characters. There was this ongoing plot about me being in a bestiality relationship with a cat. At one point, I got my cousin to play a drug dealer. And this is a joke I don't think anyone got, but at the time, I was prescribed heavy amounts of Ritalin. And Ritalin, chemically, is very similar to meth. So there was this one joke where he was a drug dealer and he's like, called Dr. Dwayne, and he's like, here, I got your meth, and he like chucks my Ritalin bottle to me, and I catch it, and he's like, yeah, have a good one. I don't think anyone got it, though.
I thought it was a pretty funny joke.
I did this one it started off as a stop-motion show, but I gave up, like, partway through and just let my hands be visible the whole time, called Pokemon Rejects, where I built a set out with Sharpie and Styrofoam and printer paper, and used a bunch of Pokemon toys and did voices for all of them, and it was supposed to be like a sitcom with toys.
I remember that.
You were the only human being that liked that. I released the first episode, and I'm like, this show's a piece of shit. And you're like, nah, it's good. You gotta do 50 of them.
It's like, nah, fam, it's great. Make like 100.
You are the only reason that lasted more than one episode. Because I hated it from the first episode. I'm like, this is stupid. But you're like, nah, this is fucking gold. And I'm like, I mean, I guess I don't have a lot of other people giving me commentary on my stuff. So, I mean, I guess I'll keep doing it.
Pander to your audience.
My audience of one.
Pander to your audience.
Actually, a funny thing that happened, I don't know if you remember this, but eventually I decided that the Sharp, it would just be like a hub show, because it was a sketch show anyway, so I decided it would have different segments, and all the other different shows and series I did on the channel, I would just turn into a segment on the Sharp. So at one point, you had a Let's Play show on the Sharp. I can't remember what it was called, but you had a Let's Play show on it. And
oh my god, I don't remember. It was so long ago.
You had a Let's Play show where, you know, halfway through the episode, there would be TV static, and there would be another intro, and the intro would be your Let's Play, and then there would be, like, 4 minutes of you playing 4 minutes of, like, highlights of you playing a video game, and then it would go to a different segment, and then it would go to, like, here's the Pokemon Reject segment, where it's like, here's a 5-minute clip of me playing with these toys in this one show, and then it would go back to another sketch with me and fucking Dr. Dwayne or Jack Broman.
And, have we talked about Me and KG, the movie, on here yet? I can't remember.
No, we haven't!
I know we've talked about it before, like, definitely we've talked about it on Bad Jokes, but I can't remember if we talked about it for the podcast ever.
Well, let's go into it anyway, because we're talking about, like, our history on the internet, so we might as well. Okay, I had 2 videos that came out. The concept of these, actually, it might have been 3. I think it might have been 3. Not sure. 2 or 3. Doesn't matter. Not important. Anyway, it was me. It started out, I took a bunch of videos of this cat I got called Cage. There was this cat named Jasmine. Jasmine sucked. Terrible cat. Wouldn't get again. But at one point, they had incestuous sex with their brother and pumped out a bunch of screwed up incest babies. One of those incest babies we decided to keep and named him Cage. KG for short. I recorded a bunch of cat videos of them, and then I made a compilation and put it on YouTube with a bunch of different music over it, and I called it Me and KG. Then I did it again and called it Me and KG 2. Then I decided, yeah, there was a third one. Then I decided I'm gonna get creative with this shit. And then I did another one. This one had a plot. This one, what happened had a plot vaguely. Because half of this was random cat videos. So, actually, no, like, 2/3 of this was random cat videos, and the other third was random shit I shot in post to try to make it into a plot. It still wasn't coherent at all. No one got it. But I tried to edit cat videos into making a plot, and essentially what it was is, at first, I was documenting. I was this weird dude that was documenting and stalking this cat. But eventually, I was trying to locate them, and I climbed a tree to try to chase them. But then I got injured. But then because I got injured and broke my arm, which I made a cast out of toilet paper, I blamed them for it. And I decided to try to seek and get revenge on KG, which ultimately fails. One of my favorite lines I had in a video is I had the camera zoomed in on their mother that had that made this incest baby cat, and I zoomed in. I instead of calling them a name, I called them Milkmaid because they were there to deliver milk to their incest baby. It was like, "What's your agenda, Milkmaid? What's your agenda?" That video bombed. No one watched it. But after that, for whatever reason, because I'm stupid and have bad ideas, I went up to this lovely dude, and I'm like, hey, let's make a fucking movie. And it was gonna be called Me and KG, or The Movie. And it was gonna be an epic tale of the cat KG becoming a misplaced, and us going on an epic quest to locate them and reacquire our lost cat. But,
it ended up... Well, this was going to be a beautiful plan and become... Inevitably, let's be real, probably turn out to be incredibly awful.
It would have been awful, for sure.
Again, we're fucking... Keep it in mind, at this point, I'm in, the 7th or 8th grade, and he's, a grade above me. We're just fucking kids.
Our
we
voices,
don't know
our
what
balls
the
haven't even
fuck we're
dropped
doing.
yet, and we still got squeaky ass fucking puberty voices.
Oh god, don't remind me. So this is already bad enough.
The long story short of it is we recorded a couple scenes. There's this one scene where I came in overacted. I'm like, Cage, and Will busted in like, what about Cage? And I'm just like, he's been misplaced. And then I try to kill myself, and he has to talk me out of suicide.
It's like, John, at this point you went by John still. It's like, John, suicide is never the answer. Also, that gun is fake.
Yeah, there's a joke where I grabbed a gun to kill myself, but I accidentally grabbed a toy instead. But I was too stupid to realize it. But then during the filming process, we had a while where we didn't film anymore. Because it's we were just kids, so it's we didn't have a schedule, so we just recorded whenever.
School and shit and all that.
We just recorded whenever. But after a little while of not recording, the cat got lost for real. In real life. The cat disappeared.
The cat actually became misplaced.
So we couldn't film without the cat. Then we found the cat, and he was a fucking corpse with his organs all gooed out in the street. So the movie was canceled.
Me and KG, the movie, never came to be. Instead, it came to be a reality.
Nah. Yeah, Me and KG happened for real. For realsies, bro.
10 out of 10. I cry every time. Poor Cage. He was a good kitty.
Okay, we're getting close to the end of the podcast here. We got about maybe a minute left before this shit cuts the fuck out of here. Will, do you have any random shit, Twitter or anything you want to plug? I know you got a Twitter.
I don't really care about plugging anything. I don't want
Twitter.
People to find
plug
me.
Your fucking Twitter.
Nah!
I set you up, so plug it.
Follow me at... Hold on, I don't remember what my actual Twitter handle is.
It's like Skycoat.
Follow me at Skycoat, capital D-A Wolf.
Alrighty, and subscribe to us on YouTube at Hell and Hightails on YouTube, and then my Twitter is at Flashy JW Evans. Except if you follow me on Twitter, I mostly bullshit about pro wrestling. So if you don't give a shit about pro wrestling, probably don't follow me on Twitter. If you care about anime, subscribe on YouTube to get more juicy, delightful, sexy, gay ass motherfucking anime content fisting into your moist hearts. This has been Hell and Hightails. I have been Flashy J.W. Evans, and this has been Willie D. Roth, that vast dude.
God, do not tell them my awful Skype name.
Bye,
This guy